Hey YouTube, welcome back. Another knife review for you today. This is on the Kershaw Injection 3.5. I really like this knife. I got a few gripes with it, as I do with most of my knives, but this was a gift. I've had it for a few months now. I've been carrying it religiously, and yeah, I really like the blade. It's a really nice drop point blade, an 8CR13 MOV. Bead blast finish, and it is a Rexford design knife. It's the just by the way, it is the Kershaw 3830, made in China. Boo for some of you, but yeah, really nice knife. This is the factory edge, by the way. Just some stropping done, a little bit of work done on some ceramic rods too, but nothing major. But yeah, G10 handles. Nice pivot here. It is actually a rather beefy pivot, but looks, first glance, this looks like a proprietary pivot, hardware, but it's not. There is a T6 Torx center to this, so you can get this off relatively easily. Now, if you are going to remove the pivot, I must admit, this side, it comes tip up carry right hand, or you can swap it over to left hand, but it comes right hand, and the pivot that you can easily remove is on this side. This comes off relatively easily, but once you tear the whole knife down, if you want to get this side off, like I had to adjust the locking mechanism here just a little bit. This is held in with some sort of thread lock that is just disgusting and can only come off with heat. So what I did was I took a torch lighter. After I tore everything else off, the scale won't come off without taking this off, and I just very easily heated up the pivot. It's a 3-part pivot. There are 2 screws and then a part that locks in with like a D-style lock onto this side. Actually a really nice system overall. Creates a very smooth opening knife. There are 4 bushings in the pivot. 2 of them appear to be copper. One of them is bronze or brass, and the other appears to be Teflon. So rather odd assortment of bushings, but I mean, hey, they work. Smooth opening knife right out of the box, but I've done some work to this one, and I'll tell you why in a minute when we get to some other stuff. I wish they had cut all the way through and skeletonized the liners, but they did not. That makes this knife a little weighty. Kershaw's website says it comes in at 4.4 ounces, but mine comes in right at 4.3. So we're right there at it. Makes it a hefty knife, a weighty knife. As you'll find in my videos, I kind of like weightier knives. So that will be my preference most of the time. Yeah, I really like this G10. It's finished well. It's just grippy enough, just tacky enough for me. The way this handle is cut back here it fits beautifully in my hand, and the way this angles down, it just nestles perfectly. I don't miss any jimping back here. There is no jimping anywhere on this blade, anywhere on the handle, on the blade, anything. But I don't miss it. It sets perfectly there. You've got this sort of finger grip cut out here, and it's just a comfortable knife. No matter how you hold it, it is a very comfortable blade to hold. Even this is, I mean, just look how your thumb just curves around that. It's perfect. Very well designed, Rexford design. So, awesome design in my opinion. The drop point blade is full flat ground and bead blasted, which I'm already starting to get, if you can see right here, a little bit of rust because I carry it so much, and I do carry it in a few wet environments. I will get rid of that. Not so much on the front, but just a couple of discolored spots on the back there. It's just on the surface. So no problem. It is 8CR13 MOV, so that will happen. if you're like me and don't always take great care of your blades. Nothing on the cutting edge, so we're still looking great. Great there. But comes to the thumb studs, they are machined and they work very well. They don't have that volcano issue like a lot of guys talk about, like a lot of guys hate. I don't really like that either. So this to me is just really nice. That machining allows you to really get in there and fly that blade open. We've got this backspacer here, which I've seen one other review of this knife, and it is not G10 like the other reviewer said. This is just like, it might be fiber reinforced nylon, glass reinforced nylon, whatever you want to call it, but it is more of a plastic. I also love the attention to detail, how they have beveled all the angles on that, so it just sets in very nicely into the knife. I mean, just look at that. That's just so much attention to detail. I really like it. The edges of this knife are very smooth, very flush. Just a really, really nice knife. Nice feel, nice fit and finish in the hand. Love it. But the one thing that I don't love was the way it locked when I first got it, and the fact that if you tighten it down enough to get blade spacing perfectly, blade centering perfect, you can't even open the knife. So this is about as tight as you can get it and still get a good opening on it. And as you can see, blade centering, it ain't perfect. I mean, it's kind of far from perfect, actually. This is about as good as it gets. When I first got it, the lock bar was so tight, it was pushing the blade. Within a few days of me carrying it and flipping it open, using it a lot, the blade was almost rubbing against the liner, and that's not good. Mars up your bee blast finish, which I've already marred it up a little bit cutting, but also that can just create some problems, and I didn't like that, so I tore the whole thing down, used some heat like I said, and you can see those bushings in there shining. And then just put it all back together as best I could, tried to tune it up a little bit, and that's about as good as it gets. I'm not a stickler for blade centering. If it's centered perfectly, awesome. If it's centered well enough that it doesn't rub and doesn't look like it could rub if you wore it in a little while, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really mess with the function of the knife if the knife isn't perfectly in between the two handles or the liner scales or whatever. Also, let's talk about edge retention here. Let me see if it tells me the hardness is. It does not. So, yep. Plain edge. This does not come in and it's partially serrated. No idea what the hardness is either, but I will tell you that it holds an edge very well. And I'll just get my fact sheet here. Again, I have not sharpened this. I've just dropped it and used a little, used like some ceramic rods on it, and it's still razor sharp. It came out of the box like that. Love this knife. That full flat grind really lets you get in there, and really lets you get in there and do some major slicing too. I've used this to cut wood, leather, cardboard, packaging tape, various other packages. Used it to do a little prying. I actually was cutting a lot of backers, heavy poster board backers for some displays at work, and used this, and it was just going through them like butter, better than my box cutter ever could. So yeah, love the edge on this knife. Love the edge retention. It's very good for 8CR. Very similar to the Spyderco and the Bird lines of 8CR 13 MOV, in my opinion. Very good steel. I love 8CR. Easy to take an edge. Keeps an edge relatively a long time. And yeah, it's just a good beater steel. You can use it and use it and use it, and it'll forgive you. So yeah, overall guys, if you're willing to do a little tuning, I would say this is a great knife. The hardware on this, unlike a lot of other inexpensive knives, is really good. And when I say inexpensive, this one is currently $23 with free shipping on Amazon right now. I think the person who got this for me got it for like 20, but that's very rare. It wasn't online. It was actually in a store, and they were running a sale. So yeah, comfort, utility. It's a good everyday carry knife, guys. It really is. Tip-up carry only, right or left. That full flat grind. And if you needed to use this in a defensive way, yeah, I don't think you would have any trouble using that 3.5-inch blade. Not ideal, up to the task, definitely. They also make an injection 3.0, which I'd like to get my hands on. It's just a 3-inch blade version of this knife. Same spec all over. As far as I know, I don't think anything's changed between this knife and the other one. But yeah, overall, after carrying this for a few months, I still love it. Still cuts great. Still takes a killer edge. So yeah, I would recommend it to someone who likes this type of knife and who just wants a good everyday carry knife for a price point that is much lower than the value of the knife. It's a very good value, I would say. So yeah, guys, questions, comments, subscriptions, please come on, give them to me. I'll give you links in the bottom for where you can purchase this, as well as a link to the Kershaw website so you can get all the specs and everything directly from them. See you guys later. Bye.